I want to introduce you to part of the parachute regiment. They're going to be in operation for the first time on D-Day. This is them just completing some exercises in late April 1944. Over time you'll learn more about these men. These are the two brain gun carriers from the same section. The radio operator, and finally Lieutenant John Todd. This will be his first time in action. His sergeant is a veteran, was at Dunkirk, been in the regular army since 1932. John is relying quite heavily on his sergeant to help him in what everyone realises are going to be trying times ahead. With a lot of the games we share, I'm 30, 40, 50 years into a campaign, and I was thinking it would be nice to start something I've never done, which as you get older gets harder, but to do it with you right from the very, very start. And I've never ever done a World War II campaign. I do World War II. My 20mm World War II army is Battle of the Bulge, because I wanted to paint figures and scenery with snow, and I didn't have any, and I'd never done that, and it seemed to me I was really a bit limited. I didn't have any World War II figures. I could go into town on a Thursday, like I used to do when I was a kid, buy a box of Airfix soldiers, and go from there. And so that's how that's developed. Use rapid fire rules. Now, this is different. This is a campaign, and I'm basing this campaign on a historical event at the start, but like everything I do, I'm messing about with it. So in the film The Longest Day, there's a really interesting scenario broken up over the day with the Airborne Division, who were tasked with capturing intact a bridge over a river and holding it until reinforcements arrive. And that's the inspiration for the game. Now, I'm not taking accurate maps, I'm not using accurate numbers, because the game is about these men, these people, and we're going to get to know them hopefully over time. And let's see how they fare as I trace their progress through all of the actions, real historical actions, but fought in a fictitious way in my campaign game. So, as with all the Parachute Airborne Division units, these men are serving troops who have volunteered. As we play the game, you'll get to know why they volunteered. Different reasons, different ages. They join 12 Para as the number 9 Independent Parachute Platoon, and they're officially formed, as you can see there, for the mission specifically named Mallard's Shadow. Lieutenant John Todd is 25 years old. Comes from Bath. His right-hand man, Sergeant Thomas Mercer, veteran soldier, Newcastle upon Tyne. William Carter is the radio operator corporal who is attached from signals. He was born in Leicester. And Reginald Moore is a Bren gunner by trade, and he's been designated as a Lance Corporal. Again, these are the men. We've got Peter Ellis 22 from Swansea. As we go down the list, you can see their names, their ages, I will show you a fancier card I've made, because my hand wobbling. This is horrible, I know. And now I'm going to show you the platoon diary. I don't know if you could tell properly, I hope you could. On the actual roster, it tells you what the men did before the war. And gradually, I'm hoping that we're going to be able to see friendships develop and learn more about the men. So, there is a platoon diary. Sergeant Mercer arrives at headquarters a few days before the men to do the administrative tasks. But on the 1st of April, the official start date for the unit, for the platoon, men start to arrive in dribbles. Every hour or so, a 3-ton lorry turns up. A chap from battalion headquarters, corporal with a clipboard, takes the details, checks the paperwork, sends them off to the billets, makes sure they're with the correct platoon. There are several platoons and units at the base. When they get there, they're Nissen huts with bunks. Some have got names chalked over the beds, some haven't, not yet. Not everybody's there, maybe 6 or 7 people. They start saying hello. Nobody seems to have met anybody before. Some chap's cleaning his boots. There's a fellow unpacking. There's a couple just idly stood by the door having a cigarette. At 6 o'clock, Lieutenant Todd turns up in his own private car. At the moment, he's not been allocated a Batman or anything. He's met, as he drives in, by Sergeant Mercer. 2 men shake hands after a formal salute. "Looking forward to working with you, sir," says Sergeant Mercer. Young Todd thanks him, said, "I'm looking forward to your support, Sergeant." And they go in and meet the men. By now, we're pretty much all there. Perhaps one man due to arrive during the night because he's come further, or perhaps he's been delayed. All these men are serving, as I've said, so they're not coming from home. They go for a fairly informal inspection. Todd makes a point of shaking Sergeant Mercer's hand in front of the men, just to let everybody know that they're going to be working as a team. Formal work starts the following day. They have an inspection. They have a drill. And that's all outlined in the diary. And I'll show you a few pages from the company diary. So this is the platoon diary. And it's, all bits and bobs, kit inspections, church parade, a football match where they play B Company and win 2-1. We're getting to May. Now in May things start to heat up for D-Day. So we start to look at major field exercises, demolitions training and so on. We get to June. So we've got ops briefings and so on. Hopefully you can see what it says. Objective revealed, sand table model, final letters home, the Padre visits, blackened faces on the final meal, then the lorry to the airfield, board the aircraft, 5 to midnight, and very, very shortly after, on D-Day, the aircraft takes off for Normandy. Now what I'll be doing in the next video is showing you aerial reconnaissance of the attack area without showing any enemy positions, because they've not been picked up. So I'm going to do aerial reconnaissance. If I was playing this as a game with you and I was umpiring, I'd probably give you these photographs and let you study them. It's based very loosely on the battle for the Orne Bridge, and it is loose. For example, the guys who took the Orne Bridge were Airborne Division. I've decided to mix Airborne and Para in one special unit because it means I don't have to limit my troops just to airborne missions, so I can follow them from D-Day, and anything airborne and anything of a parachute use, or even where they're deployed as infantry, I can use these forces. I have British infantry and things, but I want to follow these chaps particularly. And I'll tell you now, my hope is that they all get to the end of the war. That's what I desire. Let's see what happens. But I'll also tell you that I won't cheat. What happens to them? Happens to them. So tomorrow I'm going to show you the battlefield, as it were. And then I'll explain how the battle is going to pan out. And then we're going to do D-Day from the parachute drop. And the fate of, I don't know what's going to happen on D-Day, as you don't, do you? And one final thing I will say is that this was the sort of game when my dad was in the mood to be nice, which wasn't very often, and we did play with our Airfix soldiers. These were the sorts of games he liked, and he himself had gone over to Normandy as a 19-year-old on the third day after D-Day. All right, can't think of anything else. Ta-da, Chuck.